Said we have some distinguished diplomats here today. I know we're all eager to talk to them. I'm not going to hold time up. So I'm going to invite Honorable Piotr Janicki to tell us about investment opportunities in Poland.
Thank you very much. It's a great honor to be here. Thank you for your kind invitation to tell you more about Poland. I'm very excited to do so. Let me start with the history. You may wonder, why do I start with history? But I'll explain it later. The first Monday of March is Pulaski Day, Kazimierz Pulaski Day. And he was a general during the Revolutionary War, and Poland sent two generals to United States, General Kazimierz Pulaski and General Tadeusz Kościuszko, both heroes of the Revolutionary War. The first one was believed to save the life of George Washington. That's why he is celebrated. He died at the age of 37 at the Battle of Savannah. And the second one is a founder of West Point and also believed to contribute a lot to freedom of this country. The reason why I'm mentioning it is that in early 90s, Polish former president Lech Wałęsa, he said, we send you two generals already to the United States, General Pulaski and General Kościuszko. It's time for you, Americans, to send us two generals as well. And he said, why don't you send us General Electric and General Motors? And they did, because General Motors opened up the factory and they started producing the cars, Opels, in Silesia region. And GE Capital also invested, General Electric, through the bank. It's called GE Capital Bank, and they had their investment in Poland. Now this business was sold back to a Polish capital and is no longer there under this name, but actually Americans sent us two generals as well. So we even. Poland is in the heart of Europe. We are discussing Eastern European countries today, but Poland is actually a little bit to the east, but the central location is a key for our trade, because the central location allows us to trade both with Eastern Europe and Western Europe, as well across the Baltic Sea with Scandinavian countries, and then we have access to Southern Europe as well. So, official name of Poland is the Republic of Poland, and it's often considered to be the heart of Europe due to its very central location. Okay, here we are. Poland is one of the biggest EU member states. Poland is the biggest politically and economically stable country in the Central and Eastern Europe. And it helps us not only with exporting our goods. Like I said, the central location is a key element here. But also we have one of the biggest markets for our own products, and we have very big domestic markets. Poles account for 24% of the region's populations, and we have 40% of the gross domestic product in this region. This is a clear indicator of the potential of Polish economy, to just give you the perspective of how large this market actually is. There you go. Political and legal stability. Poland is a democracy. We regain our independence almost 100 years ago, but for many years Poland was a communist country and we were behind the Iron Curtain. It's no longer the truth. We were able to transition to the capitalism in 1989. And since then, we have uninterrupted economical growth. So we're talking about 27 years of uninterrupted economical growth. The recession didn't hit us in 2009, 2010. It did not happen in Poland. Poland was able to create enough enough stability to continue the economic growth throughout this hard period. Poland is a democratic multi-party republic reflecting a mixture of parliamentary and presidential models. The government system is based on the separation and balance between legislative, executive, and judicial powers. Of course, we have a modern constitution. Poland was the first constitution, modern constitution in Europe, the second in the world, right after American Constitution. We will celebrate on May 3rd another anniversary of our constitution. The first constitution we had was in 1791, and the current constitution that we have in place was adopted to our legal system in April of 1997, and it's still working just fine. Population and language. So as you can see on the map, right in the middle of Europe. Ethnically, Poland is one of the most homogeneous countries in Europe. The population of Poland as of end of 2015 is 38.4 million. Right now it's a little bit more, it's close to 38.5. Close to 38 is what we know is true. However, a lot of Poles actually live abroad, so we have over 10 million more people living outside Poland. 3 million of them in my consulate district, actually. So we have plenty of things to do for Polish Americans here in Chicagoland and other states of the Midwest. So Poland is making the 7th biggest economy in Europe, omitting Russia, of course, in terms of population, and the 6th largest in the European Union in terms of area. The official language in Poland is Polish, but most educated Poles, especially in the business community, speak at least one foreign language. I happen to be one of those people. Other languages that are commonly known in Poland is German and Russian. Other languages are spoken as well. I speak Swedish, for example, and English. But you'll find people who speak French, people who speak Spanish, but mostly English. If you happen to be on the streets of Warsaw, or Krakow, or other big cities, if you ask for directions, please make sure you look for some younger fellow if you speak English, because the older fellows have a tendency to speak Russian versus English, but people like me or younger than me happen to speak English, because this is what we learn at school. There you go, tourism assets of Poland. Poland is, what you can see here is these are mountain region actually, but Poland is mostly flat. But we have access to the seacoast through the Baltic Sea, and we have great mountains. These are Tatra mountains. They are beautiful. I'm going to go there this summer, so I'm excited. That's why I put this photo, so you can envy me. Poland becomes increasingly attractive as a tourist destination. It's got a natural environment, modern infrastructure, and improving access to a culture and nation's heritage. Meanwhile, Illinois governor is scheduled to go to Poland as well. I told him to come and visit Krakow, and he said he will. So next month we will go to Poland. Macroeconomics indicators. According to the European Commission data for 2017, Poland was one of the fastest growing countries in the EU. Only Ireland, Estonia, Malta, Czech Republic, and Romania and Slovenia recorded highest rates of GDP. While the average size of GDP in the European Union increased by 1.5% in 2017, the Polish economy grew by 4.2%. Now, that is impressive, considering that we have uninterrupted economic growth for over 27 years now. Significant European market. Like I said, Poland is a sizable country. It's the size of New Mexico, so you may think from US perspective it's kind of small, but and it is quite big for Europe. We live in the tiny countries there. So that's why we have a strong domestic market. and we have consumers that consumes good, not only that we export, but we have domestic consumers as well. Factors explaining the Polish economy. Poland enjoys a good competitive position and high attractiveness as a production site. Producers have unlimited access to the whole European market. Poland joined European Union in 2004, and we had to implement a lot of European Union laws before it happened. So that's why Polish law and the way we do business is very similar to the one that you see in Germany, France, and other European Union countries. So that makes that makes Poland very predictable and easy to invest, especially for those who already have investments in European Union. The quality of our workforce is also a key factor. Poland's huge domestic market. This is another thing. Like I said, we have a big domestic market. 2016, relations of the exports to GDP in Poland was only 52.1%. Countries such as the Czech Republic, Hungary, and Slovakia was much higher, 79.3, 92.2, and 93.6 respectively. It means Poland is much less dependent on changing external environments. That's why during the economic crisis of 2008 through 2010, we're able to sustain our economic growth because we had domestic consumption still going strong. Human capital. This is a key element to our success. Undoubtedly, the outstanding quality of human capital is one of the strongest assets of Poland. A survey made among foreign investors who do business in the country show that the following are among the most appreciated characters of Polish employees. Excellent quality, strong communication skills, proficiency in foreign languages. These are our strengths that we are very proud of. Banking and financial institutions. There are 37 commercial banks and 26 branches of the credit institutions in Poland. For a small market like ours, 38 million people live in Poland, that's a lot of competition. 37 different banks. Many local markets don't have that much here in the United States. Of course, it's changing. The banks are merging. But if you're looking for a capital in Poland, you can look into 37 different commercial banks and 26 different branches of the credit institutions. That's just huge asset that we have and makes it very competitive on the domestic markets. Stock exchange and capital markets. This is something that I'm very proud of. The Warsaw Stock Exchange market is bigger than Viennese market, bigger than any stock exchange market in Central and Eastern Europe. The Warsaw Stock Exchange begins its activity in April of 1991. Investors can trade stocks of more than 480 companies. In August 2007, we launched a new Connect, which is a market for the small companies. So even the smaller companies can start. Not only the big players enjoy the access to the capital, but also smaller companies can do the same. Venture capital funds, they are all over the place. So again, this is a great way of funding your business through a venture capital. Funds started operating in Poland in the beginnings of the 90s, and they have a huge presence in Poland. It is kind of very remarkable and quite significant for Polish economy. This is again a map of Poland. You can see an infrastructure in Poland, the development of the roads, transportation network in Poland over the last few years has made exceptional progress. These are some data that I can share with you. Please review it. I'm not going to repeat all these numbers. It takes too much time. The EU Infrastructure and Environment Program in Poland. For 2014 and 2020, Poland received from EU's the budget of 82.5 billion for the cohesion policy. These are the funds that helps to catch up the lost time that we were outside the European Union and behind the Iron Curtain. So due to these funds that we benefit from, we are able to improve our infrastructure and build a stronger economy in Poland. Business services clusters in Poland. So in the recent decades, the region of Central and Eastern Europe has become one of the most important hubs for business process offshoring worldwide. Krakow, my home city, is a great example of that. We have we service the different major companies, and due to good language skills of Polish people, when you call the helpline here, sometimes you get someone from Philippines or India, but you might get someone in Poland as well. You can tell that by detecting the accent sometimes. The top foreign employees. France Telecom is one of them. As you can see on that list, Citi, a group, is from the United States. From this region, Motorola Solutions invested a lot of money in Krakow, Poland. There is a video testimonial available on YouTube, and you can review where a CEO of Motorola is actually bragging about how important it was to bring business to Poland. So if you have a chance, please don't hesitate to review it. Thank you very much. This is the picture of the Polish Consulate at 1530 North Lakeshore Drive. I'm very proud of this building. This is where my office is located. The same architect who designed very famous Drake Hotel and Blackstone Hotel also designed this great building, which is in the possession of Polish government since early 70s. So if you have a chance, stop by. I'll give you a personal tour.